Well, it's been, I guess, kind of a trickle of mowers and stuff coming in, you know, work coming in. It's not too terribly bad. So just kind of recap, let's see. I had a generator come in last week, but I decided not to work on it. You know, we had problems with the parts. I told you about that yesterday. The parts came in, but it was missing pieces out of the package. So I decided, you know what, I'm not going to chase this down. This is going to turn into a nightmare long before the due date was for the, you know, he gave me 6-week lead time on it. So it's supposed to have a storm tonight, so I need to get this thing prepared. So I gave that back, but it was some work. I also had a backpack blower over there the guy just picked up. Now, he was from Kansas City, and you know, I always like those jobs. Those jobs are nice to have. So but they do take a long time to pick things up. But boy, they don't hesitate to pay. They got the money. It's either right on the nose or they give you a little tip. So, but I mean, they drive all the way down here to make a special trip to give me their things. And like this guy, you know, it's a 70-degree weekend coming up. So he brought it down early. He knew it didn't run. And so I know what he's gonna do. So he brought it down, what, 2 weeks ago. I fixed it, gave me plenty of time to fix it. And what he was expecting was the first nice weekend, he'd come down here, grab it, do some leaf blowing on his lakefront property, and then he'll take it back to Kansas City and do the rest of it this week, you know, after the storm. So, you know, I love those customers. They're great. The downside is you got to hold on to their stuff so long, you know. So if you're in the business, which, you know, I'm in a unique position with all these summer homes, you got to hold on to that, you know, you're out that money, the parts money, until they get back to you. So now some of them, like him, said he would prepay, and I don't do that. Not around here. Too many people rip too many people off, and I'm just not going to get into that business where people might think I might rip them off. Just not going to do it. AI keeps telling me I need to have a down payment, you know, charge like $50 down, and then you just apply that to their bill when they come pick it up. If they don't pick it up, then they lose, you know, or if it's a piece of junk or, you know, whatever, you still get paid. I'm not going to do that, not yet. Maybe in a couple of years, but right now I'm really kind of focusing on the lake folks, the people with the second homes. They got disposable income, and so when they want to get their mower fixed, it's usually a, you know, really nice mower that they just, you know, something broke on, they want to get it fixed. They don't really balk too much at the price. But then when you get to the people around here, they, you know, they bring you a 100-year-old piece of equipment, want it made like new with minimal cost. So it's just not sure it's worth it. And I was doing some research today about that. You know, before we started traveling as nomads, Carolyn and I had thought about doing two different things: traveling, making YouTube videos and making money off that, which was a huge success. I have no regrets doing it. Or starting a lawnmower repair business in St. Clair, Missouri. Well, it's not a suburb of St. Louis, but it is within striking distance of St. Louis. So I mean, it's just down the road 40 miles maybe. And then there's some, you know, significant size other cities just around it. There's Washington, Missouri, Sullivan, Missouri, what's north of it, Eureka, Missouri. That's where Six Flags is. So I mean, it was you know, a town. Then of course you would have competition, and there was a lot of competition in that area. So you'd have had to beat them on price. And then everybody's still looking for a deal. So it wouldn't be any different than the locals around here. Everybody's, you know, wanting that good old boy discount. So because I would not have been a seller of lawnmowers. That's what these people are, is they sell lawnmowers. But a lot of these companies require, like if you sell a Husqvarna or something, they require that you have a mechanic on staff to do service calls. So So their primary business is selling, and their secondary business is to do repairs. So I would have to compete with that, and that would be difficult. But down here, I have a unique market, very unique market. When they're in Kansas City and they have to get their mower repaired, you know, it's difficult to get into the shop. You got some corporate manager you have to deal with, and you know, 6-week lead time, and it's just. But even if they have to drive it down here 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours to bring it down to here, it's worth their time, especially if they're coming down to see the lake or spend the time the weekend in the lake house, just to make a special trip. You know, middle of winter, they make a special trip just to drop off the leaf blower, but they can still go sit in their house. It's not like they have to get a hotel or anything, and spend the weekend. So, and check on the place. You know, they may not get to check on it very often. So, I'm a huge asset for them. And then when they're down here and, you know, they only got a weekend to get things done. So, you know, they come down on Friday. The mower won't start on Saturday. They bring it over, and then they, you know, expect it done by next weekend, which normally I can do that, unless it's a real serious repair. But with these guys on the lake, it's never a serious repair. It's usually just something generic, you know. So, okay, so now we had that leaf blower, we had that generator. The generator was recommended from the hardware store. You know, the hardware store sends a lot of customers over here. Then we had another leaf blower, but he brought 2 of them. One's a still, the other one's this Husqvarna. I got this one running, waiting on a carburetor for the still. That'll be here tomorrow. So, you know, that came in this week. So business is kind of picking up. He called today, said he was going to be in town. You know, he lives out there by the lake. He had to go to the hardware store. And he's hoping that, you know, I'd be done with him. And I said, well, ran into a problem with the still. The inlet to the carburetor just disintegrated when I tried to take the fuel line off, so I'll have it done tomorrow. He said, oh, that's all right, I understand. Now this lady called a few weeks ago, maybe last week, before, and I figured I lost her. I figured, nah, she's not coming. She said she needed to get her grandson to bring it over, and I figured the grandson, nah, I'll fix it. I just knew that's what would happen. So when she indicated she was going to come down on that Saturday. She didn't say it, but I don't remember exactly what she said, but it sounded like she was going to come down that Saturday. Well, she didn't, so I just figured, well, grandson's going to fix it. Or maybe he did try to fix it and realized, nah, I can't fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it. So, but this one's an easy one. It's an $11 part. The cable to engage the blades broke. It happens all the time. Almost on everything, not just lawn, you know, push mowers, all of them. Especially with something this age. This was 2003. Something that old, it's just going to give up. So, you know, that's an easy fix. And I'll get to make a video about it. That's the thing, is I'm really going to start focusing on videos this year more than I did last year. But all I was got to do, I mean, the cable's right here. I can actually probably get it out without taking the gas tank out. But to make a video, 2 bolts, gas tank comes out, and then I can get that cable out. It'll be easy to show on video. So, yeah, it's a little extra step, but I don't know. Sometimes you struggle with things a lot more than you'd like when you don't go ahead and remove the obstacles. Sometimes just removing the obstacles and it's just faster. So, I mean, with 2 bolts, I mean, it's not that much more work. You know, it'll just make it easier to film and make it easier to work on. So, I guess business is starting to pick up. I guess what? Last week, lady brought down a mower. I guess that was last Thursday. Yeah, I gave it back to her on Friday. Brought down a mower. She had the belts, so I didn't even have to order the belts. So I got up the next morning, put the belts on, and that afternoon she came and picked it up. So I guess people are starting to feel like it's getting into the season where they need to start worrying about their lawnmowers. But I am I realize this lady's local, but I don't know. I'm just going to be more cautious with the locals around here. If it seems like it's going to be combative, I'm just going to back away from it. I'm not taking it. I've already made a post on Facebook that I'm not taking anything older than the year 2000. I listed my business hours. What else did I say? I don't know. There were some other things. So kind of like this year's policy is, just so people understand that I want to be a businessman. I don't want to be a good old boy. And I really have come to the conclusion after a lot of research, after a lot of AI questions, that when you live in a small town like St. Clair, Missouri, or this town, they expect a lot of favors because you're the neighbor. And I'm just not going to give favors. So I think I'm going to jump off here. So if you'll click this up next box, take the video over to my other channel. I'd really appreciate it if you go check it out. So hope I can inspire you. Get ready for your goals so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.